thank you for joining us today for our webinar on the opportunities and challenges in the Spanish biogas market. My name is Ryan Hart, and I will serve as our moderator today. In addition, I will be very briefly presenting an overview of the current market landscape within Spain. Just quickly before I begin, a few words on BiogasWorld. BiogasWorld is a commercial platform designed to better connect the industry and boost your marketing outreach. We achieve this through our vast social media network, online catalog, market intelligence, sharing new business opportunities, and through our annual event, RNG Forum, which is taking place next week in Drummondville, Canada. So according to the Iberian Sustainable Transportation Association, GASNAM, there are 12 operational biomethane facilities across Spain, most of which have been commissioned after 2021 and are located mainly in the Catalonian region. There are 90 more facilities in the construction or development stages, the vast majority of which are planned to process agricultural wastes. Growth is very likely to continue across this market as major developers have announced plans to increase their share of biomethane and companies look to decarbonize their gas use. The two largest commitments are made by Biogas Peninsular, who has announced a partnership with a private equity firm and plans to build 64 new biomethane facilities, as well as Spanish gas utility Naturgy, which has announced 60 facilities to be in various stages of development and planning and is aiming to be a leader in the Spanish renewable gas production space. Most upgrading technologies are currently represented within the Spanish market. However, membrane separation is currently the most utilized. With the market still so young, there is no guarantee that this trend will continue as further developments and facilities will select the most effective technology for their contexts. So thanks for your attention for the brief overview. I will pass the floor to Jose Alejandro with Biogest. Jose Alejandro has a master in chemical engineering and supply chain management with a vast experience in the Spanish biogas industry. Currently works at Biogest as an area sales manager and is responsible for Spain, Portuguese, and Latin American markets.
Hi, everybody. Good afternoon in Europe and good morning in America. I will share my screen with you if that's okay. So I hope you are seeing my screen right now. And yeah, first of all, I would like to talk a little bit about Biogest and what we are currently doing in the Spanish biogas and biomethane market. So Biogest is an Austrian-based company with more than 30 years of experience in the developing, engineering, and turnkey construction of biogas and biomethane plants around the world. Mostly in Europe, for example, Austria, the Czech Republic, Romania, Serbia, most recently France, the UK, Italy. And yeah, also, for example, in the US, India, or South Korea, we have some operating plants. And yeah, we are more than 80 employees in several offices in Europe and the US and have completed more than 180 projects in more than 20 different countries. So you can see here what our main business units are. And yeah, the first one being biogas engineering. This is our core business where we do the design and construction of biomethane and biogas plants. The second one is what we call OPO, or own plant operation, where besides doing the design and construction of the plants, we are also shareholders and operators of these biogas and biomethane plants. And finally, we also have a small agricultural business in Romania that we use, for example, to test our digestates and fertilizers. So now, beginning to talk a little bit about the Spanish biogas market and what we are currently doing in this market. Yeah, we are currently participating in several projects where we are engaged and in different parts and steps of set projects. And yeah, these steps could be, for example, the project development, the design and detail engineering. After that, we can talk about a possible co-investment opportunity in these projects. That this could be our own plant operation business. Then the step 4 is our sweet spot, which would be the turnkey construction of biogas or biomethane plants in Spain. And after the plant is built and operating, we can also do the technical and biological service of the plant and also the operation and maintenance of it. So in this regard, we are very flexible depending on the project, and we are willing to do as little or as much as the client wants us to do. And what we are currently doing in Spain is like a little bit of everything. Some clients wants us to do just the design engineering or the turnkey construction. Some want a complete EPC solution. Some clients are also talking about the operation and maintenance in the long run. So yeah, we are pretty open to whatever the clients wants, and we are pretty flexible in this regard. So now in Spain, we are currently working on several different projects across almost every autonomous community in Spain. So in this map, you can see where we currently have like active projects where we hope to build a biogas or biomethane plant in the near future. And yeah, these plants are overall in Spain, but yeah, I must say that we have noticed that there is an accumulation of projects in some regions of Spain. For example, in Catalonia, as Ryan said before, also in Aragon, in Castilla-La Mancha and Castilla-León are the regions where we have or we are developing most of our projects. So now I would like to talk about the typical feedstocks that exist in the Spanish biogas market. And yeah, these projects have a wide range of feedstocks. Some feedstocks are easier and some of them are not as easy, and they require either some pretreatment or also, for example, more retention time in the digesters. So, for example, pig slurry is a big feedstock in Spain. We have lots of pigs here, and yeah, we have this feedstock in almost every project. And yeah, other feedstocks are, for example, the sand dash. Sand dash is what we call in Spanish subproductos animales no destinados al consumo humano. These are basically slaughterhouse residues. So these residues are very difficult for the anaerobic digestion. Why? Because first of all, in order to do the anaerobic digestion of this feedstock, we have to do shredding, and after that we have to do a sterilization of the feedstock. So this is quite difficult, but we have some technologies that do this. And yeah, also, for example, other feedstocks are the organic fraction of municipal solid waste, where we have to do the depackaging and also the impurities and, for example, stones, crystals, other impurities removal before putting this feedstock in the anaerobic digesters. So this also requires, so to say, strong pretreatment that we are also willing to do. And yeah, other feedstocks such as cattle manure or straw that we have in most of our Spanish projects require crushing and homogenization before entering the digester in order to optimize the biogas production and also to reduce the needs for agitation in the digester. So in this case, for example, if we homogenize and crush these feedstocks very well, then we would need less power consumption for agitation in the digesters, and also the overall biogas production would be better. So, and on top of that, some feedstocks such as chicken manure and sand dash also are very high in nitrogen. And yeah, we have to be very careful with this because these feedstocks have nitrogen and ammonia, and this ammonia can be really bad and even an inhibitor of the anaerobic digestion. So we have to be very careful in this regard. So yeah, as you can see in Spain, we are currently working in several different regions with several different feedstocks, and this is why I think it's key to be as flexible as possible and offer tailor-made solutions for each type of feedstock and each type of biogas and biomethane plant. And yeah, some of our solutions, these are our 5 solutions that we are currently offering in the Spanish markets: the Power Range, the Power Compact, the Power SPF, the Power Digest, and the Power Tower. And yeah, I would like to talk a little bit deeper about 2 of them, the Power Digest and the Power Range. So, now, our Power Digest, this is what we call the straightforward and classical solution. And in this type of digesters, we don't have a concrete roof. So in this case, we have a gas holder on top of the digesters, which means that we have to install the mixers, as you can see here, on the walls of the digester. And yeah, this works very well for, let's say, easy feedstocks such as pig slurry, or, for example, fruit and vegetable waste. Yeah, but this is not the best solution for other types of substrates. Also, in this type of solution, the Power Digest, we don't have a concrete roof. We have this gas holder on top of the digester. So this means that we also have some heat losses to the roof, which means that we also have to consume more biogas or more biomethane of our own production to keep the digester heated. So as I said, this is a very simple solution, a very economical solution, but it only works well in, let's say, the easiest feedstocks such as pig slurry or fruit and vegetable residues. So for the more difficult feedstocks, we have what we call the Power Ring. This is what we call the efficient all-rounder. Yeah, as you can see in this picture, what we have here is that we don't have the gas holder on top anymore. This would be external gas holder, and what we have instead is a concrete roof. This concrete roof allows us to put as many mixers as we want and in the position that we want. So in this case, the agitation in these digesters would be very good, and we would be able to work at higher dry matters. And also this concrete roof allows us to have a much better isolation of the digester, which means that we lose less heat through the roof, which means that we would consume less biogas for the heating of the digesters. On top of that, as you can see in the picture, the Power Ring is what we call a ring-in-ring system, where we have two digesters in one. The primary digester would be the external ring, where we have a kind of plug flow reactor, and the secondary digester would be the inner ring, where we have something of a more traditional flow with the classical mixers. And yeah, these 2 digesters and flow types, one after the other, help us to degrade difficult feedstocks, such as, for example, cattle manure, straw, sand ash, these difficult feedstocks that require more retention time. And yeah, this helps us degrade these feedstocks in a very efficient way. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This is what we are offering, and depending on the needs of each client and the needs of the diet, we are willing to offer one solution or the other. Yeah, this is basically what I wanted to say. Thank you very much, Ryan.
Great, thank you. Thank you for your presentation, Jose Alejandro. We have a couple of questions from the audience that we can try to slip in quickly. Is the first one from Francesco, is biogas cogeneration technology used in Spain for biomethane or gas to power applications?
So what we are seeing currently in the Spanish market is that the majority of the plants, they are willing to produce a biomethane also. What I mean is that they are willing to do this upgrading, And I would say that from the projects we are currently working on, 90% of them, they want this biogas upgrading solution, for example, to create this biomethane for grid injection, and 10% of the projects, they want to have this cogeneration, the CHP solution.
Great, thank you. And then I apologize to the other questions for the sake of time. We will address them, time permitting, at the end of the webinar. The next presentation, we have two more presentations, sorry, from Nicolas Bruyas and Baptiste Usquin. First is from Nicolas Bruyas, who is the business developer for Spain and Portuguese markets for Prodeval. He follows these markets since 2019 and moved to Zaragoza in March 2023 to be closer to Prodeval's clients and develop a Spanish subsidiary that wants to be close to its customers. So with that, I'll hand the floor over to you, Nicolas.
Thank you, Ryan, for the introduction. Hi, everybody. Good morning for America and good afternoon for Europe. So as you said, Ryan, I'm working for Prodeval since 5 years now, following many markets, and now focused on Spanish and Portuguese market based in Zaragoza. So as a quick recall for Prodeval, we are a leading company in the treatment of green gases, especially the biogas to biomethane, so the upgrading of the biogas. And we have accumulated more than 30 years of experience overall in the biogas sector. So the five segments of our work is focused on the biogas upgrading, as I said, the 3 steps. So biogas drying, biogas treatment of the pollutants through activated carbons, and then separation of the CO2 and the CH4 through the 3 steps of membranes. We also do the liquefaction of the CO2, which is a byproduct, in many cases released to the atmosphere, but now more and more used for as biogenic CO2 as a source for e-fuels or other applications. In some countries where electricity is quite expensive, we can install a CHP that allows the global project to produce its own heat and electricity and decrease the cost, having a better economical situation. And we do also the compression of the biomethane as a fuel for transportation, so CNG. And as we want to be the best partner for our client for the 15 years of operation, 20 years of operation, we have a huge part of the company focused on the services. We keep our traditional historical activity of capturing gas from landfill. We do some detection of gas on site, but of course we maintain all of our plants through the world. And Prodeval is very focused on maintenance. We do have technical assistance 24/7. Where 97% of the problems are diagnosed and we can start back the plant with the full remote control of the plant. And on the other case, we do have a 15 million spare parts stock, critical spare parts that allows us to guarantee the start back of our plant in less than 72 hours. And we often, as the markets are growing in each of our subsidiaries, put a local spare part stock. So if we want to focus on the main numbers, now we have 30 years of operation, 6 subsidiaries, which are Italy, Czech Republic, US, Canada, where we have combined, I think, 25 plants there, and of course Germany and Spain that we could talk today. Overall, the group is more than 380 employees, with more than 100 technicians, especially for maintenance and commissioning of our plant. And we achieve an overall 400 units, among which 140 were commissioned last year. We are in capacity of production of 150 plants per year, and now launching an assembly line to increase this capacity of production as we see the big boom for biomethane coming in Europe and in the rest of the world. In France, the market share is more than 65%. This is our home market, but we look forward other market as well, such as Spain, and we'll talk about Spain especially now. In Spain, among the 12 projects that Ryan said, we have one operating since 2021, now 5 projects under construction. Mainly they are retrofit from CHP, so cogeneration to biomethane. And the new project, let's say the one that are greenfield, are now under authorization from the administration, which gives us a very good perspective for 2024. The subsidiary is 1 year old, and we can already say that we will increase the capacity of this subsidiary with the aim of having this subsidiary quite autonomous in terms of everything except the production that will be kept in France. As more macro for the Iberian Peninsula, we have also 3 projects under construction in Portugal that are among which 2 are already delivered and waiting for the biogas to be produced. About the biomethane sector, in Spain, we are quite confident on the potential, because Spain is often ranked as the 3rd or the 4th main important market in Europe, and very comparable to France in terms of resources. So we can imagine the same ramp up or even more rapid ramp up for Spain that we have seen in France for the past years, where there is now 650 plant injecting around 7 terawatt-hour per year. And now in Spain is only the beginning, but we see already that these 9 to 12 plants there are many more in construction. I think this number will at least double until next year. And for sure, as the potential are quite equal, we can imagine that in 10 years there will be 500, there will be 700 plants for the biomethane upgrading in Spain. What are the challenges? What are the opportunities? The problem at the moment is for these greenfield projects that are all under administration validation, especially for the environmental permits. And the timeline for this is like at least 9 months, but we never know when this will be released. So for us is the lack of anticipation on when this big boom will arrive. Another factor is the public acceptability. The public knowledge about biogas and biomethane here is not very high and not very positive. Many associations are like targeting projects so that they don't go live, and this is something we try to work on with several associations to increase the visibility that biogas and biomethane are a way to treat waste and not the source of the problem, but a solution. So we really want to work on that. And another factor maybe of challenge is the availability of the feedstock that are concentrated in some region, and also sometimes like promised to many plants. One factor which is not here is the qualification of the digestate, which is quite different from other countries. For example, in France, here digestate is not considered fertilizer; it's considered a waste. And so projects are necessitate to treat it or to compost stage or other treatments before putting it back on the land. And this makes that project for economical viability needs to be much bigger and much bigger plants than you can see, for example, in other countries. But the opportunity is there. There is a maturity that is getting higher and higher. That is getting more and more mature. In terms of production, we are quite ready, and we already see many secured projects that are like on the final steps for the authorization, for the public hearings, and to start. So of course, if there is any question, here's my contact, and then happy to answer to one of many of them right now. Back to you, Ryan.
Thanks, Nicolas. Yeah, we'll pull one question from the box here. Maybe we'll take, what do you think are the main drivers of biogas and biomethane growth in Spain beyond the abundance of biomass?
Sorry, what was the end of the question?
Beyond the abundance of feedstocks, what do you think are the main drivers for the industry growth in Spain?
The main drivers is the necessity to treat some of the waste. The driver is, of course, economical, and we see a lot of. I mean, if we just look at the biogas and biomethane market here in Spain, it's necessary that this market treats this waste even for Europe to comply with its objectives. So there is a lot of drivers. It's true that the context, the administrative context is not helping, but the main drivers are mainly economical, and the will and the necessity to decarbonize the economy. Yes.
Great, thank you. The other questions we will get to
Sure.
in the Q&A box, and we'll move on with our final presentation from Baptiste Usquin, who is the CEO of Waga Energy España.
Okay. Thanks, Ryan. I will share my screen. Okay, here we are. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So, hello, everybody. My name is Baptiste Usquin, as Ryan said, and I'm the CEO of Waga Energy in Spain. So, very happy to be with you today. So the idea is to discuss quickly about what we do and what are the projects we developed in Spain, and then talk about the context, opportunities, and proposal we have for the Spanish market. So in Waga Energy was created to optimize the valorization of a potential source of greenhouse gas, okay, that is a landfill biogas, to turn it into a local, competitive, and renewable energy that is biomethane. So Waga Energy was founded in 2015, okay, by 3 engineers from Air Liquide, which have developed over more than 10 years of R&D, a dedicated and unique technology in order to optimize the upgrading of landfill biogas. Okay, we have grown a lot since 2015. We are now more than 200 people, and we have built and we operate 21 plants in four countries, and we have other 14 under construction. As we have an integrated business model, it means that we own the plant that we build, operate, and maintain. We are a cash-intensive company, and so we went public in October 2021 in the Euronext to be able to have the financial capacity to develop and support our growth. So Waga Energy in Spain, we're based in Barcelona. okay, and we count today with 6% based on the first project I will describe a bit later. To explain what we do, we have to start from the municipal waste, okay, that each of us we generate in our houses. So the volume of this waste is constantly growing, okay, and it's not something we like, but it's something we have to deal with to be able to minimize the environmental impact. So these municipal waste, there are different ways to treat them, and one of them is to deposit this waste into the landfills. For example, in Spain, 50% of the waste are today deposited into landfills. In the landfills, the fermentation of the organic matter naturally generate a biogas, okay? And this biogas have a different composition than the one you may know from anaerobic digestion, okay? We're talking about a biogas that have, of course, methane, CO2, but also nitrogen and oxygen. And that's the fact of this composition, and the fact that this composition evolves constantly, that the I would say usual technologies that are used for anaerobic digestion, such as membranes or PSA, are not really efficient for landfill biogas. And that's why we have an innovative solution that is called Waga Box, that is dedicated for this landfill biogas upgrade. When we generate this landfill biogas, this biomethane, as you know, biomethane is a renewable substitute for fossil natural gas. And what we do is that we inject it into the gas grid in order to be able to use it into our houses, into the industry, or into the transportation system. Here is the first Waga box we have commissioned in June 2023 in Spain. Okay, we are located in the biggest landfill in Catalonia, that is called Can Mata. Okay, so this landfill is run by a very important waste management group that is 3Zero, who provides the biogas. And then Waga Energy has built and is operating the Waga box in order to be able to inject the biomethane into the local gas grid that is run by Negia in order to sell and develop the biomethane. So this project was founded, and it's important to stress it, by the European Commission through the Innovation Fund program for its impact on greenhouse gas emissions. So we are active for 5 years in Spain now, and over the actual project and the activity of Waga Energy, I wanted to share with you the vision and to bring proposals about the biomethane market and framework we have today, as of today in Spain. As for the vision, what we've seen is that, of course, Spain has developed first-in-class infrastructures in terms of renewable electricity. Okay, we have a lot of windmills, lots of solar photovoltaic plants. Okay, and in fact, with very good results, because often in Spain, more than 50% of the electricity that is generated comes from renewables. That's very positive. However, of course, electricity is only a part of the energetic consumption of Spain, and more than 70% of the primary consumption of energy is still fossil. Okay, so that's why, of course, we think it's important to develop renewable gases. And as of today, the right framework to really and the right ambition to really develop the biomethane market is not still on the table. Okay, it's something that is ongoing, but we think there is a need to push the ambition on biomethane in Spain. In fact, there is a great potential. Okay, there are several studies that have been made. I talked on the slide about the study that was made last year by PricewaterhouseCoopers about the raw potential of biomethane production. But as we've talked today, Ryan, I think Nicolas also stressed it, there are only a few plants today injecting into the grid, and less than 0.3% of biomethane. Okay, so great potential, but still a lot to do to really develop the market. Of course, biomethane is part, is a need in the renewable mix of Spain to be able to meet the ambition of decarbonization of the country. We need to decarbonize the industry, and some typical process like high temperature processes, we're not able to electrify them. No? So there is a need for renewable gases and biomethane concretely. The same happened for transport, with trucks, for example, who cannot be electrified, and we need very large volumes of biomethane. In fact, what we're seeing is that this framework, this capacity really to push and to accelerate the project development for biomethane is already in place in the neighbor country of Spain. No? France, since a long time, has a very clear strategy on developing biomethane plants. Italy, and a few months ago, Portugal came up with a very interesting and ambitious strategy to be able to develop in 2030 and then in 2040 up to 9% of biomethane into the grid and up to 18.5% in 2040. Okay, so I think there is a vision at a European level. This ambition has been understood and very clearly expressed into the REPowerEU plan. There are also some regional administration in Spain that are trying to ease the way to allow the permitting of the projects, and are even putting subsidies on the table. But it's true that I think in Spain, what we miss is a bigger ambition at a national level to really push the market and accelerate the development. So this is for the vision, and just to get more in detail about concrete proposal, I will share with you some ideas. The first one has been also developed by Nicolas. In Spain is a decentralized country, okay, so with different regional administrations. However, we think it's important to have a common framework, a common logic on the processes in order to be able to go faster in the permitting process. Okay, this is really key for the projects to be able to go in operation much quicker than what we have today. To give you an idea on the concrete, our concrete experience of Can Mata, the Waga box of Can Mata, we were more than 2.5 years to be able to get all the authorization and make the construction of the plant, and that's very long. So the access to the grid. So it is clear that in Spain, some key actors have understood that there is a clear strategic need to decarbonize their activity. Okay, they have understood that in 10-15 years, they will definitely need some renewable gases into their infrastructures for them to have value. Okay, it is not the case of all of them, and we need some rules, of course, to avoid speculation, to avoid too many projects that doesn't make sense, but also to allow the projects to develop in an easier way and have conditions that make sense and that are based on rationals. Okay, so there is something that is going on by a public administration right now in Spain, and it will be key to really be able to accelerate the project development. And finally, in order also to accelerate capacity to support some smaller project that could have a less rentable viability, capacity to develop this project is important in order to have a real impact on greenhouse gas emissions and be able to meet the objectives, the objectives that Spain has for the 2030 period. Okay, so as a conclusion, Spain has still some homework to do to define at least an ambitious and generate a more efficient framework for the biomethane project development. This would allow mainly to accelerate, to speed up the projects. However, we are very positive on the development of biomethane in Spain, as the potential, as we see, is huge. Okay, and lots of companies, lots of big investors are really willing to develop these positive projects, positive both on economical side, sorry, but also on the environmental side. Okay, so that's it for me, Ryan. Thanks a lot. And if you have questions, I would be glad to answer them.
Thanks for your presentation, Baptiste. One question before we open it up to all our panelists I'd have for you is, what's the potential for Spain in terms of, for biomethane in terms of landfill biogas?
Okay, so as you understand, in Waga Energy, we are working on a kind of a niche. Okay, so that's landfill biogas. So it doesn't represent all the anaerobic digestion potential. So we are talking about roughly between 80 and 100 sites, okay, that have the actual right size to be able to develop this kind of project, and talking about between 3 and 4 terawatt-hours of potential for landfill biomethane.
Okay, thanks. And then maybe a question for all of our panelists. What are the challenges for biogas and biomethane, for the biogas and biomethane market in Spain? And are they similar or different in your experiences to other countries?
So
maybe I will start, sorry. Or Jose, you wanted to start?
Oh, sorry, you can start. No
For
problem.
me, there are very different conditions than other country. First, it's a country where there is few or no subsidies at all. So it's a market which is ruled by the markets. Off-takers are, like, for example, in France, there is a feed-in tariff, so you know very for certain that you will have your biomethane bought for 15 years. Here you need to have a look and to find the right off-taker, which will provide you for the off-take of the biomethane. You will look for financing of projects. You will have to look for the proper plant very near from the gas grid, because same again in France, there is a help for the gas grid. So is 60% is bought by GRDF, so the gas grid operator, and 40% by the promoter, where in Spain, the cost of the tubing is 100% for the promoter. So you need to be careful on where you plant your site, and sometimes you would prefer to have it near the grid and more far away from the source of the waste. So it is a quite distinct market, but an interesting one, and we see that it's getting more and more mature.
Yes, maybe I totally agree with you, Nicolas. But I agree that that the Spanish market is like highly dependent on these long take offtake agreements. And what I also see is that compared to other markets, the Spanish market has also like maybe more difficult feedstocks. For example, here in Spain, we have lots of these slaughterhouse residues. I think that many projects have this because we have lots of this in Spain, and maybe they are getting like a fair share for treating these feedstocks. And I think that this is also maybe, and I would say, a problem to be solved, because you have to be very careful with the pretreatment of these feedstocks, because if you don't do so, then you will have problems in the anaerobic digestion or the separation. So this is also something to take into account.
I agree.
And do you have other questions, Ryan?
Yes, we have one more question. So in an ideal world, what should Spain do to push for more biogas and biomethane?
Okay, I can begin to answer this one. So as I said, the situation of the market is that we are able to develop the projects. However, very much clearer and much more ambitious objectives in terms of biomethane into the grid would help all the sector to be able to go faster. Okay, so that's very I would say important and in line, in fact, with all the European countries that are moving in this direction. So we are confident that this will happen pretty soon. And then what we talked a bit, with Nicolas and Jose Alejandro, that are trying to get a shorter permitting. I think in each region, public administration is getting more used to the biomethane projects. Okay, 3 or 4 years ago, it was really something totally new for them. Now they have heard about it, and they are working on several projects. So I think this is also something that needs to be worked on. And then the access to the grid is also something very important, the conditions of the access and the cost of the access to the grid, because this is really, if it's conditions are too complicated, cost is too high, it's really a project killer. So we need to define very well what is the framework of the grid connection, and with this we will have soon lots of biomethane plants in Spain.
I would maybe add one point about the public acceptability, because many products are, as I said in my presentation, target now by associations for smell, for traffic, and so on, and they can visit a lot of plants that I know that don't smell at all, and it's important, I think, that the public understand that biogas digestion is a way to treat the waste, and not the source of the waste. The waste are there. We try to have a positive externality of this, and we provide a clean energy, local solution, very circular economy, because a lot of jobs that are created to the site are very local. And the project that I know, for example, are are far away enough from the houses so that there is no problem of inconveniences.
Just to complete, in France, I'm French, and we have the reputation to be quite grumpy, So if we were able to develop more than 650 plants of biomethane, it's because the impact and the negative impact is really not high. So as Nicolas said, I think it's about explaining, being transparent, taking people to places where there are already some plants for them to see that the impact is really not high and really supportable, and gives also a very positive impact for the territory, for the local territory.
Okay, thanks. And Jose, did you want to weigh in also?
No, maybe just say that I totally agree. The impact is very positive, both on an environmental and an economical vision, and that that we maybe need some support, or also some quicker answers from for the permitting in order to develop the market correctly.
Great, thanks. Any questions that weren't answered live in the chat, we will pass along via email. We'll wrap it up here. I'd like to thank our presenters again, Jose Alejandro with Biogest, Nicolas with Prodeval and Baptiste with Waga Energy. For our participants, if you're interested in learning more about the Spanish market, we invite you to join the biogas community for updates, news, and discussions about this market. And as a reminder, next week we will share the recording of the webinar. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Bye-bye.
Bye.